Hey, it's Dr. Dunaway here with Chiro Strength, and today we're talking about neck stability, especially in the context of shoulder rehab. So I made an Instagram post describing the connection between rotator cuff surgery or shoulder injuries and the rehab necessary for the neck to make sure whatever we do at the shoulder sticks. If you do not pay attention to neck stability at the neck, it's going to be next to impossible to rehab a shoulder adequately. So every neck is different. Where you start that rehab is dependent on the person that you're either working with or you, and it's important that there's a professional assessment done to kind of tell you where to start this. But to give you some ideas of where I start, first things first, we got to make sure we have a proper breathing pattern, because if we're not using the diaphragm to pull the lungs down, we'll be using all this neck musculature to pull the lungs up, and that chronic tension in a lot of these muscles will destabilize that neck. So dead bug breathing pattern, ribs down. I tell people to think about locking a towel to the table with their back, and I try to pull it out. I say pin that towel down, keep the chin nice and packed. So the idea of almost giving yourself a double chin and holding that good alignment as you breathe, keeping a little engagement in the core, and that's the start. Now what I'll do is I'll put my hand under their head and I'll say chin retraction, put a little pressure into my hand, keep that chin packed, neck flat to the table almost. And then what I'm going to do is ask them to hold their chin or neck still as I slowly slide my hand out and see if they can keep what I call a good neck plank. So this neck plank, you think about nice tall spine, chin retracted, that head hovering right above the table. The goal, or at least the minimum competency, is to be able to hold that for 30 seconds with the goal of ending up being able to hold it for a minute. What you'll see is if they don't have the stability there, they'll either jut the chin out like this, they'll flex forward like this, or they'll start really shaking and trembling. All of those, you would stop the rep and restart to accumulate that minute. Now, once they can hold that minimal competency of 30 seconds, I'll turn them over and we'll do kind of a pseudo plank for the shoulder stability and to kind of integrate the neck stability there with that too. So forearms down, head into a diamond that you're making with your hands down here, and I'm going to try and roll my shoulder blades around the thorax here, kind of push my sternum away from the ground, and really retract my chin. So in this position, I'm making sure that my shoulders are down, the humerus is externally rotated, almost as if I'm kind of pulling myself over my hands, and then really pushing through my forearms, and I should feel that stability all through here while I keep a good chin retraction, and that will start to integrate shoulder stability and neck stability. Again, reaching for that 1 minute hold, and in this position, even up to 3 minutes is a good challenge to start rehabbing that kind of shoulder neck connection. Now, once we're on the ground and we have stability on the ground, I'll get in a seating position. I'll get one of these resistance bands, and I'll place the resistance band around the head like this and have them scoot out. So now my head's going to be pulled up like this. Retract that chin, pull the ribs down, and so now I'm activating this entire anterior chain here, and we're going to start in a seated position. 30 seconds, good, nice belly breathing pattern, keeping everything engaged, making sure we're not having any pain in the back of the neck. Breathe. And so then I'm going to slowly start to rotate. Once I feel like I can hold that isometric for 30 seconds, and we'll do this rotation side to side, making sure we're not jutting that chin out, just like we talked about with the neck plank. 1 minute of rotating that way. Then I'll come to the side here, and we'll do 1 minute of retracted, looking over our right shoulder, the other way, looking over the left shoulder, and then finally facing that tower, the band pulling you back, retracting that chin into resistance here, and slowly rotating. Now, after we have competency there and we're not having any pain in the neck, I'll stand them up. And so now they're doing the exact same thing without a seat here. And so we really start to challenge with gravity and bringing in the lower extremities as well to help stabilize that entire anterior chain. And like I said, these are progressions. You might be plugged in a couple different areas with this, but at least it's a starting point. So if you have any questions with that, you know where to reach me. My email is drdunaway@chirostrength.com. You can always shoot a comment in the description below. I'll be happy to answer those. I got this question, made the video, so I do read and look at your questions. If you have a topic you want me to discuss, please let me know. And like I always say, don't just mend, transcend. Thanks.